and welcome to episode 39 of the Nicole Stitches podcast. I am a left-handed crocheter, knitter, and general crafter coming to you from Northern Virginia, where I work and live with my fiance and our cat, Webster. You can keep up with me on Instagram at NicoleSPDesigns, on Ravelry as she writes things, and in my Etsy shop where I make and sell handmade project bags, notions pouches, and other fiber accessories, as well as original crochet pattern designs. There is also a Ravelry group for the podcast where you can go to find a get to know us thread, a Q&A thread, a monthly pattern giveaway thread, as well as the threads for the NSP Comfy Crochet Cow, which is a crochet along that I am hosting where we are crocheting blankets, and I'll talk about that a little bit later when I talk about my crochet work in progress. But I think that's all of the stuff I normally cover at the beginning of the video, so here we are. I have been having sneezing fits all day, and I've already had to stop once while recording this to sneeze, so if this video is very jumpy or if I'm talking like someone who's about to sneeze, I probably am. But hopefully my nose can get itself under control while I record this video. I'm also on the floor today because I just don't feel like dealing with chairs anymore. That's it. I didn't feel like bringing the chair over. So we're on the floor, and my bangs are insane because they need a trim. I have an appointment in 2 weeks, and I could go in before then and get them trimmed because like this is, it's inexplicable, but I don't feel like it. So it's gonna wait, and I'm gonna struggle, and then in 2 weeks I will get my hair done and I'll have a bang trim. So I'm just going to jump right into things. I will first share with you my Tegna progress. Here's my project bag. Here are my pins. This is from Twill and Print, and this is from Afink and Ink. She is a Murderino, and that is a Murderino pin. And my shirt today is also from a Murderino. This is from a shop called Crackers and Milk. She's a Murderino maker, which means that, like me, which means that the first week of every month, we donate 15% of our shop proceeds to a charity. The charity changes every month, but just so you know, when you buy from her, if you buy during the first week of the month, 15% will go to charity. And same as with my shop as well, 15% of the first week's sales every month go to whatever charity of the month it is. So here's my Tegna. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, Boyland Knitworks. I'm sure you're familiar at this point. And here's my progress. Here's where I was last week. And this is what I've done. So we are getting there. I need to do about 2 more inches around, and then I will split for the sleeves and kind of, you know, do all that top of the sweater jazz. But it is coming along pretty well. I've had to take a couple of knitting breaks. I think I have a tendency to, when I really get going, because this is just knitting over and over again, it's just a stockinette tube, I think I have a tendency to grip my needles tighter and tighter, and so that makes my hands tired. But I am really enjoying working on this. I love how it's turning out. I think this is going to be a really comfy top because it's cotton, is very breathable, and I think it's going to be perfect. So I'm making this out of KnitPicks comfy fingering yarn in the color Hollyberry. I think I'm on my 3rd skein of it, so I mean, with this pattern at least, it goes quite a long way. Caitlin Hunter always builds into her yardage requirements in her patterns. She has said that she always builds in 10% extra. So based on whatever her pattern like math is, whatever that math says the yardage requirement would be, she adds 10% to what she says to get in the pattern as a buffer, because people's gauge is different and people make modifications and stuff. So I definitely have more yarn than I will need because, again, I am this far. I'm this far. I have this much left in my current skein. I would say 1/3 of it probably I have left, and then I have 4 more. So I'm definitely good. I'm not gonna run out of yarn. I will probably have at least 2 left over. That is my guess. I might have 3 left over. I will at least have 2. I'm pretty confident. I just zipped this bag without my project in it. Going well, going well. If I truly love how this thing fits, I think I'm gonna love how it fits me. If I do, I think I will make a more in the future, but not with the lace on the bottom. I've talked about this. I really did not enjoy the lace part. It will be worth it to me because I want the end product, but I found it taxing mentally. It was not an intuitive lace pattern for me. It was not easy to memorize. And so for that reason, I don't think that I will do it again. If I make this again, I will do a plain bottom or find a different pattern to do on the bottom. I don't know. But otherwise, I really, really like this. My next work in progress, I have my crochet Afghan, which is my project, my first project for the NSP Comfy Crochet Cal. It's a crochet along that I am hosting. Again, there are threads in the Ravelry group. There is a chatter thread right now, but I need to add a finished object thread because I know at least one person on Instagram has a finished object already for the Cal, which is very cool. She made, I think it's a stroller blanket that she made, or a crib blanket. It was a smaller one, but I think it was eagle themed. It was very cute. If I'm totally wrong about that, I'm very sorry, but I'm pretty sure that I saw like a picture of an eagle hat. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check. But anyway, it's a pretty relaxed crochet along, just crochet a blanket. If you started it, you have to have started it in 2019. It has to be crochet. It can be Tunisian crochet. And the first deadline will be Memorial Day weekend. And then I'm going to have another, like a second round, basically. I think that's going to go to the end of the year. So if you are crocheting a temperature blanket, which I know is a very popular thing this year, I've seen lots of people starting temperature blankets. I am planning to extend the crochet along right now to December 31st, so you will be able to enter your finished object in that. But for now, this is my current project that I am counting for the crochet along. I am designing this blanket, and it still doesn't have a name. I have to think about it, but this is my progress. So this is where I was. Here's my little stitch marker, progress keeper guy. My little gnome. He's from Simply Serving. And this is actually where I was 2 weeks ago, because if you watched last week, you saw me realize that I didn't work on this at all last week. But in the week since then, I have worked on it a bit. I put a few rows in, and you know, it's getting there. Oh God, that turns me really, really yellow. It's probably because of this. But anyway, so my hope is that I can finish this by the end of April. Because that's when, this is a gift for my friend who's getting married. That's what her bridal shower is, and I would like to give it to her then, because the gift that I'm putting together for her is a bunch of stuff for like their home from their registry. So I wanted to kind of make like a basket and put all this stuff in it, and then also the blanket, and then maybe also the cross stitch, which you'll see it in a second, like framed and everything in a basket, and bring it to them. And you know, because I just think that that's like a nice gift, and I like to do really nice gifts for people who mean a lot to me. And we've been friends for like close to 20 years, and we were best friends for a really long time, and she's very important to me. So I want to give her a really nice gift. If I don't finish it in time for her shower, that's okay, because I have another month until her actual wedding, and I can always bring it to her then as her wedding gift. But end of April is the goal. I need to finish my Tegna first, and then this will become my main project. But I think that I'm on track to finish my Tegna in a pretty reasonable time. And that is my unnamed wedding blanket. I am making this in KnitPicks Mighty Stitch, which is an acrylic blend. It is 80% acrylic, 20% superwash, and it is 208 yards per skein. This is in the colorway white, and I love this yarn. I rave about it every time, but it's gorgeous. And that is in this big canvas bag I made for myself that I still have not put any patches or pins on because I can't do it. What I want to do is sew patches on, because a lot of the patches I have are iron-on, but that's kind of permanent. Like if I iron it on one thing and then later I want it on something else, it's kind of a difficult process to get an iron-on patch off of fabric in my experience. Whereas if I sew them on, I just have to get a seam ripper and rip it out. Is that tedious? Yes, but it's less permanent than ironing on. So I think that's what's putting me off of putting my patches on here, is just I would have to sew them all on. I'd have to run them through my sewing machine, which would be a little bit of an odyssey, I'm sure, because Karen is a difficult girl. Karen is my sewing machine. She's got a mind of her own, and she's a little bit difficult to deal with sometimes. Or I would have to hand sew, which is just a pain in the butt. I remember when I was in Girl Scouts, I was in Girl Scouts for a long time. I'm a Silver and Gold Award Girl Scout, if anyone knows what that means. And I sewed all of my patches onto my vest, and it was a real pain in the butt. But I do, this bag is too plain for me. It's getting to me a little bit, so I need to put some patches on here. Those are my 2 yarn projects that I've worked on this week. I also have some cross stitch progress, which I will show you. Oh God, this is a bad look for me. Hold on. Let me get the stray threads off of this. This is my cross stitch project that I'm doing for my friend Carrie. This is Mr. and Mrs. by Stitchrovia. And I didn't do a ton this week. I did some stuff up here and then this. At this point, I just need to bring this all the way down and then write Mr. and Mrs. in here, and then it's done. So it's not that much work. Not this past Saturday, but the one before, I think I cross-stitched basically all day. And I think if I had another good, like, full day of cross-stitch, I could probably get this finished. And that's exciting because then I could have time to find the perfect frame and get it all framed up for her and all that good stuff. But I'm really liking this, and I am, oh my God, so yellow. What happened? There we go. Okay. Last week I mentioned that I was kind of hesitant about how red this is. It's growing on me. I think adding the other red accents that are supposed to be up here and around here will help. And I am still, jury's still out on whether the Mr. and Mrs., if I'm going to do that in the burgundy or if I'm going to do that more in this color. I haven't decided on that yet. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Should it be the burgundy colors or should it be in like this color? Can't decide. Can't decide. And that is my cross stitch work in progress that lives in this lap stand frame. So I basically tuck this part under my legs when I sit on the couch so that this just sits nicely in my lap, and then I can, basically it's like this, and then I can stitch, and I do the one hand under, one hand on top method of cross stitch, which I've not always done because I didn't have a lap stand. When I hold my hoops, I do all the stitching with one hand, but with my lap stand, I'm able to keep my dominant hand underneath and my weak hand on top, and I just pass the needle back and forth. I've tried it the other way, and it is a pathetic disaster. I've talked about this before, but my right hand, I'm left-handed, and my right hand is useless. I can do some things with it, like cut food and play piano, and that's pretty much it. The coordination is pathetic, and my hand strength is garbage with my right hand, but I can pass the needle through on top of the fabric because I can see what I'm doing. And that's about as far as we get on my right hand functioning for cross stitch. I now realize that I also did some embroidery this week. I'm embroidering cosmetic bags for my 5 female bridesmaids in my wedding, and I started one, and I made a little bit of progress on that, not a ton, and I just forgot to bring the project bag in here. It is in another room. So I did make a little bit of progress on that. Not really remarkable, but, you know, I have till October. They're underway. And that's all of my progress for this week. I kind of worked a little bit on everything. That's pretty cool. This is going to shock you, but I'm going to Baltimore this weekend. I think I've now gone, no, we didn't go to Baltimore last weekend. We went like halfway. But the weekend before that I had to drive to Baltimore and back. and this weekend I'm doing the same thing just for the day. I'm just going up to do a thing, and Adam's gonna do a thing, and then we're gonna come back. But I am once again driving to Baltimore this weekend. And I'm going to bring some stuff in the car. I think I might actually bring both of these projects because I'm gonna have a little bit. The thing that I'm doing is a secret. Sorry. I'm doing a fun secret thing with some friends in Baltimore. But during that time that I'm doing that thing, I'm gonna have some downtime, and I think that this would be perfect to bring with me for that because it's small and portable. And then I think I might bring this to work on in the car because I can just leave it in the car when Adam drops me off, and when he picks me back up, I can have that there again. And in the meantime, I can have my knitting. So that might be my plan. We'll see what I feel like on Saturday when it's time to go. In other news, I did want to share that my Fibreshare package came. So I actually forgot to send to take a picture of my Fibreshare package that I sent before I sent it. I usually forget to do that. If I'm honest, I have forgotten most of the rounds that Fibreshare that I've participated in. I have forgotten to take a picture first, which is my bad. I should remember that, but it's okay. My receiving partner was super excited about her package, which made me really happy. She said that I spoiled her, and she was just very, very excited, which is what this is all about. It's what I derive joy from in doing this. I love putting together little packages of stuff for people that will make them happy. So to hear that she was so happy with what I sent her, you know, just makes it all worth it. Fibreshare, if you don't know, is my favorite thing in the world. It is like Secret Santa, but for yarn. It happens a few times a year. I want to say 4 times a year, maybe. I think there were only 3 rounds last year. This was the first run of this year, but basically, you've probably heard me talk about it before if you've been with me for a while, so I'll just go through it really quick. Sorry if this bores you, but when Fibreshare signups open, you go online, you fill out a little survey, you pay a quick fee that reimburses the lovely organizers for their time and labor in corralling everyone together, and then you get matched up with a person to send a package to, and so you get their survey answers, most of them, and so you learn like yarn they like, dyers they want, the types of crafts that they do, treats they enjoy, all that stuff. And then another person gets assigned to you to send a package to you. So, and it's very fun and exciting and cool. So not only did my recipient get her package, but I received mine. I was matched up with a lovely gal named Kate, who I think she's watched some of the podcast now, or she's watched some episodes. So hello, Kate, if you're watching, thanks for my package. I'm not going to share with you everything that was in my package, mainly because I ate some of it already. And I've kind of put a couple things away and like they're scattered around, so I don't even know if I have everything in front of me right now. But she sent me many lovely things, including some yarn, so I will share primarily the yarn with you. But she sent me this beautiful yellow, look at this, perfect match, I love it, from Yarn Love Yarn, and the color is Juliet. This is 80% superwash, 20% nylon. I confused myself. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. This is beautiful. I don't think I'd heard of this yarn dyer before, but this is gorgeous. And then she sent me Woolen Boon, which is a yarn dyer who I've liked for a really long time. And this is the colorway Crepe. She sent me the 100% superwash yarn. This is, oh, I like this a lot. It's gorgeous. And finally, she sent me Feederbrook Farm yarn in Entropy DK, and the colorway is called Specific Heat, and this is 100% blue-faced Leicester. So this has that kind of like hand-spun look. I don't know if it's actually hand-spun. The label's printed on recycled paper, so that's cool. I don't know, is this actually hand-spun? That would be amazing. I've never had hand-spun yarn before. It looks like it is. I don't know if it actually is or if it's just made to look like it is. That's very cool. And last but not least, she sent me some junk yarn. Junk yarn is, Kemper is one of my favorite indie dyers. All of her yarns are named after women, which is awesome. And this is actually a sock blank. So this is Cindy. I'm guessing Cyndi Lauper, because look at this. I might be wrong, because this is not how you spell Cyndi Lauper's name, Cindy. This is like spelled the normal way. But like this to me, with the neon and stuff, it kind of screams like 80s Cyndi Lauper type vibes, you know what I mean? Either way, I really like it. I've never worked from a sock blank before. They were like a big thing a little while ago. Oh, it's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. So that's the yarn that I received in my Fibreshare package. Thank you so much, Kate. I love it all. She also sent me this really beautiful crochet hook. Look at that. This is the fanciest crochet hook I've ever had in my life. Holy crap, this is so cool. And she sent me my favorite thing in the world, tiny scissors. I've seen pairs like this before, and I've always really wanted a pair, and I just haven't, I haven't found them in a yarn shop, or I haven't found them somewhere easily accessible to me yet, or whatever reason, I just didn't have a pair yet, and so she sent me them, and I'm unreasonably excited about these scissors. They're so fun. So yeah, that is part of my Fibreshare package. She did send me other goodies that I really love, but those are like, that's the yarn and one highlight. I'm gonna try and roll up this sock blank real quick while I talk to you. As for other stuff, I'll give you a reading update. I am reading Legendary Ladies by Ann Shen. I think last week I had not yet started this. I was finishing The Incendiaries by R.O. Kwan, but now I'm reading this and I'm almost done with this. It's a quick read. The style of book always is, because it's just like a couple paragraphs per person. But like I said before, this is a she's gorgeous. I love her. Look at her. She's beautiful. It's just like a portrait of the person and then stuff about them. And this one is all about goddesses in different cultures. And this has been so cool. It is so fascinating to learn about like all the different cultures and their beliefs on their goddesses of different things and who created what, and it's very cool. You've got everyone from, you got Norse mythology in here, there are Greek and Roman goddesses, there are Celtic goddesses, there are African and Hindu, here's Parvati. There's just so much like that I didn't know. We got Freya in here, she's Scandinavian. She's got, I mean, look at her, living the life. She's got a chariot pulled by cats, what more could you want? But yeah, there's just so much, there's so many like goddesses and amazing cultural detail that I had no idea about, and it's so fascinating to learn this stuff. I really love this book. So Ann Shen also wrote a book before this. I talked about it before. It's called Bad Girls Throughout History. Maya Angelou was in there, and Edith Head was in there, and I think Annie Oakley is in there, and all kinds of Mata Hari, iconic women figures throughout history who did cool stuff like this. So when I saw that she had written this book, I got really excited about it. But this is really, really good. And someone else recommended to me last week a similar book. I think it was called History versus Women, which I've added to my wish list. And I'm interested in that as well. So that's what I'm reading. I have no idea what I'm going to read after this. I've got generous piles and piles of books behind me that are on my to-read list, so I kind of just have to choose. And that's my reading update. And that's all I have for you this week. Last week I mentioned that Adam and I were going to go do an escape room with our friends, and we did that on Saturday. It was very fun. We did escape with more than 20 minutes, I think, to spare. And then we got a bonus puzzle, which I solved single-handedly in a matter of seconds. And it turned out that the lock was broken. So it was a video game themed escape room which was very cool. It was like, it was 80s themed, I should say, but it revolved around a video game, and it was very, very cool. It was very exciting for all of us because we were all born in the 80s and 90s, and so it was like our childhoods, and it was really fun. And then there was a bonus puzzle that you get if you solve the room quickly enough, and I made a guess as to what the solution to that puzzle was immediately, and there was some sort of problem with the puzzle itself. The person running the room actually had to come in and tell us, like, yeah, you got it, and undo everything for us. But we got to keep a prize from there, and I took it because I was the one who solved the puzzle, so I decided that it was mine. But that was really, really fun. We, I think, agreed that we would definitely do it again. If you have an escape room near you, I suggest getting a group of friends together and going to do it because they're really fun and a generally good time. If you guys can work well together and you're not claustrophobic and you are good under pressure. I would say those should be your prerequisites, but if those 3 things are true, go do it. And yeah, that's what's going on for me. Like I mentioned, this weekend I'm taking a little day trip to Baltimore with Adam to do some stuff, and then I'm probably just going to be doing shop work all weekend. And that's the deal. So if you were new here, thanks so much for choosing to give me a chance and watch my video. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back. If you want to be notified every time I put up a new video, please hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a whole bunch. Yeah, that's true. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and check out the Ravelry group. Join us, join the Comfy Crochet Cal, use the hashtag on Instagram and you can find our posts. I hope you have a good week, get lots of crafting done, and I'll see you next time. Bye!